Hey y'all, welcome to Copland. Today we're talking about working a Bloodhound, police Bloodhound, and the challenges and the rewards of working a Bloodhound. Now, I never did work a dope dog and I never worked a patrol dog. I worked a Bloodhound, that dog right there. Her name was Ashley. And the case I'm going to talk about today happened in a major city. In a part of their town that rhymes with the tree elm. And I got a call one day on a Sunday, actually it was a Saturday, and they asked if I could bring the dog, and I said yes, I would help them, but obviously couldn't go on a Saturday night. A woman had been attacked previously by probably a homeless guy. She'd been attacked and sexually assaulted, and he had choked her nearly into unconsciousness, and choked her so bad that the petechia in her eyes popped and caused her eyes to bleed. And so I agreed, and I knew it would be difficult because there's no grass in this part of town. It's all concrete, all streets, all curbs, no grass, and buildings. But anyway, so the department in this large city had this guy in custody, and what they wanted to know was if they needed to run DNA. And back then, DNA was very expensive to do. It was about $1,500. And so I wasn't looking for the person. They already thought they had him in custody on other charges. They just needed to know if it was him. So I took her, we get there, and I met with the victim. I made a scent pad from the victim. No, I'm sorry. I went to the major city's police department, and they had the suspect's clothes. He had been wearing 2 sets of clothes, and he'd shucked one off when he was running away from them. Anyway, I made a scent pad from those clothes. And then I took the dog down to this part of town, and I let her smell of the victim. And these hounds are not bite dogs. There's no concern about them biting anybody, anything like that. And so I let her smell of the victim to eliminate the victim, and then I scented her and commanded her, and off we went. Well, here's the victim. She's lived in she owned a business there in that part of town, and she also lived in that business. And so off we go. We go around this way, up around here, and we're sniffing, you know, actually sniffing. And the track is working like a foot track, not a car track. Well, she's running up along the edge of the buildings. I mean, they're just crammed in this particular neighborhood. And she's sniffing along the sidewalk and along the edge of the buildings because that's where the scent will have blown. There's nothing for it to cling to, like what you see here, grass. There's none of that. And so the scent is along the edge of the buildings. And she's working along. And we get around down to here, and there's a parking lot here. Well, back in the day, when you parked, nothing was like it is now on the, Wi-Fi, internet, and all that. You had to fold up your money and put it in these slots. And so we're working along, and Ashley goes up in this parking lot and starts to sniff around these boxes where people put their money. And I'm like, what? I don't know what you're doing. This guy's on foot, Well, there was a uniformed officer with us. There was a couple of them with us because of the part of town we were in. And even though it was early on a Sunday morning, wasn't anything moving. But that part of town's full of bars. And so I said, I'm at a loss here. I don't know what she's doing, sniffing around these parking boxes. And he said, this guy's a box picker. And I said, okay, I don't know what that is. And he said he takes coat hangers and steals the money out of the boxes, the slots in the boxes. Whoop, no wind here. And so I said, okay, I think it's him. Well, we went on down and around, and then, well, you probably can't see it now, but there's up here, the clothes were recovered where he shucked them off. And I thought that maybe she was in that area because of the clothes he shucked off. But I was wrong. She was right. And anyway, he said, no, this guy's a box picker. And I looked at the detective, whose name I wouldn't tell you anyway, but I can't remember it anyway. It's been too long ago. I said, this is going to be your guy. I said, this is him. The box picking, I said, Ashley's got him. She's got his scent. And this is going to be him. Well, I wrote it all up, turned it all in, gave it to him, everything. And about, I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe a month, I think about 3 weeks later, my phone rings, and it's this detective, and she says to me, I just want to let you know that we got the results back from the DNA. I said, yeah. And she said, your dog was right. I said, I know she was right. I knew it all along. And she said, well, that's amazing. It's remarkable that this dog told us this. And I said, well, it wasn't my $1,500, to begin with, but I'm glad that y'all decided to spend the money, and you can make your case now. And they could, and he went to prison, for sexual assault and aggravated assault and all of that business. But it's not that Ashley was looking for the person. She wasn't. She was telling me that person had been there and that person had committed that crime. You have to know how to read your dog. That's the art of working a bloodhound. Is the dog on the track or off the track, and what the dog is trying to tell you. Now, I missed the part of it with the clothes. I thought that she was just hitting on where he had dropped his clothes, but I was wrong. She was hitting where he had stood around and over and over and over in that area, and was stealing money out of those boxes. So it was really just a wild thing. But that's, the challenge is trying to figure out what the dog's telling you. And obviously the reward was that she was right. And bad guy got put in prison, which was a really good thing. And again, because the dog's nose confirmed what the detectives thought and ran the test and got proof. I didn't have to go to court. They had the proof with the DNA. But they just wanted to know that they needed to spend the money. And I was so thrilled that it worked out. There's absolutely nothing like working a bloodhound. Or any other police dog too. I enjoy watching a police dog work. I do. I like to watch dope dogs work, and I like to watch patrol dogs work. But I'm telling you, it's absolutely remarkable what a bloodhound can do. Anyway, you hear me say at the end of these videos, if you can, please support the hurricane relief effort in North Carolina. They're still in a world of hurt, and they need your help. And if you can, please help them. One of my favorite TV shows I've ever been on, Seal Street Blues, and that patrol sergeant would say at the end of it, let's be careful out there. Well, I paraphrase it to say, y'all be careful out there.